Does anybody know what taxes are? Anybody want to take a shot in general? Try.
It's payment towards the government.
Yes. Let's call it a required. It's a better word than payment. Contribution. To the federal and state government to help pay for public services. Now, we talked about quite a few of these services during, just when we were talking about regular paychecks and where your money goes. Anybody remember some things that taxes pay for? Trace. Roads.
Infrastructure.
Infrastructure. Yes. I feel like infa is wrong. Is it infrastructure? Do we not know? I'm looking it up. Infra? Yeah, it's fra. There's an R in there. Infrastructure. Okay, keep going. Yeah? Defense? Like Army, Navy, all of that stuff. Air Force? Law enforcement, police.
I think it could have just been emergency services.
A hospital, it depends. Like if you're talking about like hospital stuff, no. If you're talking about like firefighting, yes. Yeah. So we can put firefighting here. You're sitting in a big one right now.
Public healthcare.
Public health care, yeah. Schools, otherwise known as schools. Not private ones. Education, yeah. Those the big ones? Healthcare, all right. What goes with healthcare? What's the other big thing? Do you remember there's a couple big things that you don't get back when you pay your taxes?
Social Security.
Social Security. Do you guys remember what Social Security is?
It's money for people who have retired or can't work anymore.
Mm-hmm, exactly. People who have a disability and cannot work anymore or are retired. And everybody receives Social Security. So you kind of contribute to it your entire work time, and then you get some money out of it when you end. Let's see. What else should we go over really quick before we move on? Let's do IRS. What's the IRS? Yes.
It's a government agency designed to keep track of taxes of individuals or a corporation.
Good. Okay, so it is a government agency that keeps track of taxes, essentially, individuals and corporations. This is a federal government agency. They're the ones who talk to you if you do not pay your taxes or don't pay them correctly. Yeah?
I always see jokes made about like, oh you gotta do your taxes and stuff, and then you end up paying it wrong, and the IRS is like, you did it wrong, why didn't you just tell me how much I had to pay in the first place?
Yeah,
Why don't they?
good question. Mostly because everybody's taxes are so different and complicated that there isn't just like a certain system.
There is no one size fits all.
Right, there's no one size fits all that can work that way. So I think that maybe someday we might actually have something like that where they just tell us. But there are programs that are like TurboTax and stuff like that that's meant to do stuff like that. But it's not always perfect, especially when things get complicated. When you have an easier existence, like you guys right now, can you guys tell me, what are some things that you think would make your taxes complicated?
Having to build my home.
No, I mean like, what are some things you could own or have about your life that would make your taxes more complicated? Sam?
Property tax.
Property tax, so if you own a lot of property, especially if you own a lot of land. Go ahead. Kids, definitely having children, people who depend on you. Another big one is a business. If you own your own business, that's where it gets really tricky, Sam, is having somebody, because there are certain deductions, and deductions are basically, might as well do it right now, let's go down to itemized deductions. Itemized deductions are money taken out of your gross income this is not like money taken away from you, it's money that you don't have to pay taxes on. So you don't pay taxes on it. People use itemized deductions when the standard deduction, which is the money that is kind of decided by the government, that how much a single person would take to live, how much a married person would take to live, et cetera. And by the way, what do you think the difference is between single and married as far as deductions go? Yeah?
You get more deductions than married.
Yeah, well, you definitely do, but it's exactly twice as much. Why do you think it's exactly twice as much? If you're married.
Isn't it
Because two people, yeah, you're paying for both of them. Because normally when you're married, you file jointly. So if you file jointly, which means that you are filing your taxes together instead of doing it separately, then you get twice as much of a deduction, which is what your standard amount is to live. Some people choose to do itemized deductions. This is when you have, this is used when you have a business. Or something else in your life, like a farm or something like that, where all of your little deductions that you could subtract from your income add up to be more than the standard deduction. The standard deduction is, I know that we're doing a whole bunch of these at once, but that's just how it's going to go today. The standard deduction is $12,950 for a single person. Basically, this is not taxable income. They're saying that if you are a person in the United States of America in the year 2022, and because right now, why are we talking about 2022? It's 2023. Why are we talking about last year?
It's last year's tax.
Because this is last year's taxes, okay? So the numbers for this year's taxes won't be set until the end of the year. So we can only talk about 2022. But basically, they say, look, if you make $12,950, that first $12,950 you make is not taxable because you just need that to live. And if you don't make more than that, then you won't get taxed at all. So, for example, if you guys have a job that you work in the summer, raise your hand if you have a summer job, or a job during the school year that you get paid for. Keep your hand up if you do not get paid under the table. You get actual stuff deposited into a bank account. You get a W-2. Nice. Okay? For you guys, if you get paid more than $12,950, you have to pay taxes. If you do not
In
get...
the year.
Right, in the year, over the year. If you don't get paid more than that, then you will get all of your money back as a refund, or you don't even have to file taxes at all. You could actually say, don't take anything out of my paycheck. I'm not gonna end up filing taxes this year. If you are married, it is double, which is $25,900, and this is if you are married filing jointly.